Have you ever noticed our videos are color-coded? We make several types of videos, tips, tutorials, projects, vlogs like this one, and each one has its own thumbnail. It's been this way for years, but nobody's ever commented on it, so I wonder if anybody noticed. So here's a key. Regular project videos are red, jig project videos are brown, skill-based tutorials are purple, tool-based tutorials are blue, old-timey woodworking tutorials are tan, and quick tip videos are yellow. Some of the recurring video series are also numbered, like quick tips, cool tools, and these vlogs. No, I don't expect you to remember all this, but now that you know that the colors and numbers mean something, if you find a video you like and you want to watch more like it, just go to our YouTube uploads page and look for something with a similar thumbnail. These green thumbnail videos are vlogs, which is a French word for yapping. Think of them as a visit to my shop. You get to take a break from all that hardcore learning you get in our other videos and sit back with your cold one and just enjoy whatever it is we're talking about. I try to do these once a week. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's always the goal. For most of the vlogs that we've done over the last several months, it's been about the new shop. But now that that shop is pretty much up and running, I think we'll change it up a bit. Maybe try to make these more interesting by adding some variety to them. Each week, we'll use these vlogs to give you a little bonus content or some extra discussion of the past week's videos. We'll talk about what projects we're working on in the shop right now. We'll preview some of the upcoming videos that we have planned. Maybe we'll answer a few questions from viewers or make fun of a few troll comments. And then we'll yap about something interesting, like why is the width and thickness of a 2x4 nominal but the length isn't? Or if mahogany is a deep reddish brown, why are all mahogany colored stains a light brownish red? You know, the stuff us woodworkers think about, but we don't have anybody to discuss it with. These vlogs will be that place. Now I realize some of you have short attention spans, so I'm going to put a little list of the subjects in the vlog videos on the screen, and as we cover each one, I'll add a check mark. So you can start a video, you can scan that list, and if you want to skip ahead, just fast forward until you see all the stuff before the subject you want have been checked off. At least this is something I'm trying in this vlog. We'll see how it goes before I commit to doing it in every vlog. And notice I'm saying vlog. This doesn't apply to our other videos. Those aren't going to change. Oh, and I'm also experimenting with little transitions between subjects using footage taken in the shop over the last week to sort of tie everything together. We just started a new furniture project. It's a vanity and vessel sink with a matching cabinet. This is actually for a guest bathroom in my house, and it's long overdue. We're making it from hickory, and this week has all been about making nice thick legs from 3/4 inch stock by beveling the edges and assembling the four sides, kind of like a box. This isn't as simple as it sounds, because the bevels have to be perfectly straight, or you're going to have gaps and the legs won't look like they're made from a solid chunk of wood. That means keeping the narrow strips from rocking even a tiny bit as you cut the second beveled edge. That was challenging, but we have some tips to make it a lot easier. In fact, I think we'll be making several tip videos from just this part of the build. We'll have one about cutting the bevels, we'll have one about what kind of tape makes the best clamps, and one about gluing up the panel for the cabinet top, and one other one I can't think of right now. By the way, if you've never worked with hickory, congratulations. It sucks. It dulls your tools, it splinters easy, but it is just beautiful stuff. Every once in a while I see something made from hickory and I love the swirls of color so much I forget how I hate working with it, and then I end up having to learn the lesson all over again. Oh, and check this out. This is the blade for my 12-inch compound miter saw. It's a premium 80-tooth blade. It is meant for making super crisp cuts, but somebody has used it to cut up a pallet or something, obviously with some big nails or metal fasteners in it. Now here's the thing. There's only 5 people in this shop. I know I didn't do it. Amy works in the office. She doesn't even use the tools. Chip can't reach the saw from his wheelchair, so that leaves Pete and Mustache Mike. But neither one of them were in a hurry to own up to it, so it is a mystery. But we can't have this happen again. These blades are really expensive, and even if you're not hitting nails and ripping off the carbide teeth, if this blade is used for cutting up junk wood, then it's not going to be nice and sharp when we try to make important cuts in actual project parts, like the legs for this hickory furniture. Hickory splinters easy if your tools aren't sharp. That's how I noticed the damage on this blade, so something's got to change. In the meantime, I'm going to send this blade to Ridge Carbide Sharpening Service, and we'll see what kind of job they do on it. I'll let you know how that works out. Last week we did a video about biscuit joiners. It's gotten near 120,000 or 130,000 views, which is amazing considering how many viewers have commented that they don't use biscuit joiners, but they're watching the video. I think the title of the video helps a little bit. People either love Norm or they hate him. Either way, they're going to tell you about it, so if you're going to mention him in a video, you'd better be prepared. I also got a lot of comments from people who saw Steve Ramsey's biscuit joiner video, and that obviously inspired mine. And it was funny to see how people can watch the same video and hear totally different things. Some people just tore into me for daring to contradict Steve and for being disrespectful to another YouTuber. Others complimenting me for being so respectful to a fellow YouTuber and for crediting him by name for inspiring my videos. Still others got angry with me for not crediting him by name for inspiring my videos. It got a little bit comical, but if you can see past the politics of it all, and believe me, there is no rivalry or feud or anything like that between me and Steve, but there are a lot of great tips in both of our videos, so if you didn't see them yet, you should check them out. Another video that proved a little controversial this past week was the short tutorial we made on making your own wooden T-track. It seems that some people took it really personally when I said that T-track can cost a lot, because I guess I didn't mention their favorite Chinese seller who they claim can sell it for like a penny a foot or next to nothing or whatever. So I did the math. A 12-inch wide, 4-foot long board at a home center will cost you about 35 bucks. That is the most expensive way to buy oak. I don't recommend you buy it there. But let's pretend you've never heard of a mill or Craigslist and you have to buy hardwood that way, because it seems like people in the comments, that's the only way they knew to buy it. You can get 10 1-inch wide, 4-foot long T-tracks out of that $35 wooden board. Now, orange aluminum, which everyone praised for being the cheapest Chinese T-track around, says on their website that it starts at $5 a stick, but once you select a length over 18 inches, the cost jumps up. They will ship 10 4-foot pieces of T-track to my door for 114 bucks. Now, I'm no math whiz, but it seems the $35 in wood costs about a third as much as the 114 bucks in aluminum T-track. And that's if you buy your wood at the crazy expensive box stores. You can get that down to like $1 a stick if you buy your wood less expensive. And it's not about price anyway. We're woodworkers. Sometimes we just want to make things out of wood. Not every time. Sometimes I need the extra strength that comes from aluminum. But it's not exactly crazy to suggest you make your own once in a while. Whatever, people will complain about anything. Wait until you see next week's video about radial arm saws. That's going to set some people off. We're also doing a tip video about carpeted shop floors. I can't wait to see the comments on that one. Also look for a tutorial on woodworking solvents. That's going to be far more interesting than it seems. In our last vlog, I said something that got a lot of different reactions. Some seemed to be a little confused as to what my intentions were regarding the future of the Stumpy Nubs name. So I want to clarify what I meant, but to do that, I have to tell you a little bit about the history of the Stumpy Nubs brand and our future plans for the e-magazine. First of all, I'm not killing Stumpy Nubs. I'm only considering alternative names for our e-magazine. This is separate from our YouTube channel. Right now, the e-magazine is called Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. But we haven't published a new issue of Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal in a year or so because we're completely rethinking it. When it comes back, it's going to be totally different. More about that shortly. But this may be a good time to change its name from Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal to something that better reflects its content and our objective in publishing it. I have been considering calling it Blue Collar Woodworking Journal, which is based upon the original name of our early YouTube show, Blue Collar Woodworking with Stumpy Nubs, but I'm not talking about bringing back the old corny show. That sort of thing just doesn't work on YouTube because YouTube isn't television and this isn't a television show. This is just a series of videos that we make. We don't need a name for these. But the Blue Collar Woodworking brand may come back as the name of the new e-magazine once it's released. More specifically, it might be Blue Collar Woodworking Journal or something else. I'm not sure yet. Why change the name at all? Well, Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal was just an archive of content already available on our Stumpy Nubs YouTube channel. Its only purpose was to make it easy for people to get all the month's videos in one place. So I didn't mind a casual, fun-loving name like Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. But the new e-magazine has a more serious purpose. It's to be a teaching tool to help woodworkers progress in their skills. A lot of YouTube channels have begun offering paid courses separate from their YouTube channels. I've considered doing that, but most of them are just project builds with longer, more in-depth videos than you'd get for free on their YouTube channels. You can certainly learn a lot from some of these projects, but there's no clear progression from one to the next. You just pick something you want to build and you build it, and that might be all you do. I envision something different, a tiered system that encourages you to try new things, learn new skills, and build not just because you want a chair or a table, but because you want to progress to the next level. To that end, each issue of the new e-magazine will include project tutorials in 4 different skill levels. Level 1 will be for beginners or for children with adult supervision. These projects are designed to utilize common wood found in home centers and require no expensive power tools, not even a table saw. Level 2 will be for those who own a few more tools like a table saw and who wish to make more substantial projects while adding to their basic skill sets. Level 3 will introduce even more challenging projects with more complex techniques. This is for folks who are confident enough to use more expensive materials and they want to build heirloom quality furniture. And level 4 will take your craft to the next level, encouraging you to step out of your comfort zone and try things like turning, veneering, scroll sawing, pyrography, carving, and marquetry. This new e-magazine will be totally digital and released quarterly, and you'll have to pay an annual subscription fee like you do for any woodworking magazine. The projects will be in article format, text, drawing, lots of photos, like a woodworking magazine. There will be some supplemental video content that goes along with each article, especially if video is needed to better explain certain techniques. Why more articles than video? Because I think articles with drawings and cut lists and photos and step-by-step instructions are handier for printing and then taking out into the shop to guide you than videos can be. Again, think of this as a digital woodworking magazine, but with much more in-depth project articles that are part of a unique 4-tiered learning system. This is not going to replace our YouTube channel. It's going to complement it. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but this YouTube channel is already very much like a woodworking magazine. We have short tip videos, tool reviews, tutorial videos to teach specific skills, jigs and shop projects. We're unlike all of the watch me build this channels that are out there, and we always have been, so that's not going to change. But for those who want to get a little more serious about becoming better woodworkers and progressing in your skills, we're going to have that new e-magazine full of content that's not available on our YouTube channel and entirely different from the old Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. So I think it deserves a new name that better represents its mission in a more serious way. Now, I haven't settled on anything yet. Maybe it's going to be Blue Collar Woodworking Journal. Maybe it'll be something like Shop Teacher's Journal. I like the word journal because it emphasizes the digital publication rather than just another extension of a YouTube channel. And journal also sounds a little less ambitious than magazine, which to me sounds more like a paper publication than the digital format we have planned. I also want something that tells folks that this is the place to become a better woodworker without sounding cavalier about safety, as Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal can be to some. Maybe you have an idea you'd like to post in the comments below. Again, I think journal or even magazine should be part of the name, but keep in mind we can't sound too much like an already existing magazine like Woodworker's Journal. So let me know your ideas in the comments. And again, let me reiterate, this affects the new e-magazine. I'm not killing the Stumpy Nubs brand when it comes to our YouTube channel. If I use your idea and we ever meet in person, I'll repay you with a cold one, because you've earned it, my friend. This is the CRB7 router jig system from Empower Tools, and it does just about everything with amazing accuracy due to its clever micro adjuster. It's just one of the many product innovations from this small family-owned company. You gotta check them out at the link in the notes below this video. Wait, don't go yet. If you're new here, please subscribe and remember to ring the bell. I would really appreciate that. Give us a thumbs up, or better yet, leave us a comment. I always read them. And be sure to check out the latest issue of Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. It's always packed with tips, tricks, and tutorials designed to make you a better woodworker.